Well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of Star Trekking with Nerdy Up North. I am your host, Captain Goodwill, and I am joined as ever by my lovely, handsome, ravishing science officer, Synoiz. And this week, we also have a very lovely guest. We are joined by General Kirky.
Neck.
Hello. Hello.
Lunek.
Hello, Kirsty. Why don't you tell everyone who you are?
I'm General Kirky. I am a five-time Star Trek convention veteran and lifelong Trekkie.
Wow, 5 times, you brave lady. Um, Whew,
Very,
okay.
very rich lady, I'd like to say, bloody hell.
Yes,
Absolutely
very
not.
rich. Very.
You remortgaged your husband, didn't you?
Yes.
How did you afford these photo opportunities? I no longer have a husband.
Yeah.
And so you have been a lifelong Trekkie.
Yes, very much so.
Oh.
Being a dot. Next generation, all the way through. Yes.
Oh, well done. You're going to be right at home here. How are you, Synoiz?
I am good. Well, no, I'm not actually. No, I'm putting on a brave face at the minute because I'm actually really ill this week, and it's just been, when you just have one of those weeks where you just like, hold on, have we waited 10 seconds? Cool. Fuck off, week. Yeah,
1 minute 38, guys.
yeah, there we go. That's the first one in the swear jar. But it's that idea of like just when you just get a week where everything hits you at once and you're just like going, why is this happening? So like work's been really, really difficult. I've got this awful it's like swelling on the rib thing that I've got to take
Oh,
yeah, it's really annoying. So it's like this pain on my chest thing, and it's like, oh, it's so annoying.
oh, you poor
And
dear.
yeah, but at least I got decent lighting this week, which is quite
He
good. You can see
does look at his beautiful
every blotch
face.
on my face
Look at
and
that
on my
head.
Klingon ridges, my little
Oh,
rookie
yes.
Klingon ridges.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rookie.
yeah, rookie ridges.
rookie
Wait, that's my
ridges.
porn name. There we go.
Oh, it's all tailspin now. We're going into porn already. Um, Yes, guys, as you may or may not be aware, this is a pre-recorded episode. We are doing this in the
Don't tell them that. Don't.
studio. It's behind the scenes. This is how
Well,
the
look,
sausage is made. This is
I'll tell you how the sausage is made. Look at me in my Risian porno jacket.
yes.
But
The Synoiz is in velour this week. But
how about we just pretend that it's not pre-recorded and we just go like we just pretend we know what's happening in the chat, so we're kind
oh,
of
we
like,
could do this. Right, Beth,
yeah, like
behave.
Beth, it's lovely that are you eating cereal, are you, Beth? That's
Yes,
great.
cereal. No, I'm going to mod you
Wow.
now. I'm good. Block. Yes, but no, seriously, we are pre-recorded. This is happening on a Wednesday. But by your guys' standards, this is a Friday, and I'm with you in the chat, joining in on the premiere. So hello everyone in the chat. Big shout out to you all. We love you all. The Nerdy Up North community. Hello to the. Hello to Mark Cartier from the Shuttle Pod Show. Hello. Hello to So
Mad that he's
Hill.
there.
It's
Mad that Mark Cartier's
absolutely
in the chat.
insane. Mark, why do you like our pokey little show? Come on now, show
Come
Mark.
closer, Mark. Let us
Please.
squeeze you. Let us squeeze you.
Yes. Join us. Join us, sir. You will be a true Brit by the end of it. But no,
By
hello.
osmosis, is that how it
Bios,
works?
yes, of course, yes.
It's
Yes, he will photo osmosis. We will assimilate him into British culture. Yes. Oh God love you, Mark. But no, everyone in the chat who has joined, hello, welcome. If you are not already, please subscribe to the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel. Like us, give us a comment. It helps the old algorithm. Please help us with the algorithm. Oh, and share
please
this.
Come on,
subscribe.
help me, algorithm.
Help me,
Oh,
please, sir. Can I have
the
more?
pills don't work no more.
Can I have more algorithms? Um,
Can I have more? Oh, come on.
no. Oh my.
To be fair, well, no, not in the seagull fashion, but the that won't make any sense to anyone because they missed the entire pre-conversation. But I'm really excited though, algorithm-wise, because obviously on Monday after this we've got the new Monsters Up North
We
happening.
really do.
How cool is that going to be? Like, Sammy getting their monster show is great.
And the intro that Paul has done is, mwah, it is sublime, absolutely sublime. Huge shout out to Paul, who is the cult leader of Nerdy Up North. Bless him, who never sleeps, constantly creating animations and promotions and graphics for all of our lovely podcasts. Bless him, he does the lovely little ticker that you are seeing at the bottom of the screen going that way. So yes, huge shout out to everyone. Hello everyone in the chat. However, guys, we are here because the Dabo Wheel of Episodes has decided that we must review Ship in a Bottle, which is from Star Trek The Next Generation's Season 6.
Yes.
So, guys.
I was going to say Season 5, and then I was like, I'm glad I did.
Season 6,
I was a bit
episode...
wrong.
Yes, Season 6, Episode 12. So, guys, shall we...
How weird is it, though? Like, we've all been saying this before we started recording. How insane is the luck here? Like, we've just finished Star Trek, like, Picard Season 3. And the first episode we get is Descent, which is, like, crucial to, like, Season 3. And, like, you know, data and lore and what we covered on Friday. But then, like, this one is out of 400 episodes or whatever is programmed in. And
880.
180.
180.
But you know, all of the episodes programmed in, and we get this one, which is another episode that's like, the lock on it is crazy.
It knows the prophets are with us. Kai win. I nearly said Kine win. Kai win.
Bless you, my child.
Is
hold on. I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to you and check your paw. Hold on.
Oh, is it weak?
Strong, my child.
Oh, is it weak? Okay.
Oh, it's proper big.
Yes.
Your pa's massive.
Thank you. The headset covers the earring, but no, it's been really good and really weird that the algorithm has sort of selected the two most, I would say, relevant episodes from The Next Generation for Season 3 of Picard. So I'm really excited to review this episode, Season 12, Episode 12 of Season 6 of The Next Generation, because this is the last, or second to last, we see of Professor Moriarty before season... Well, yeah, the last one we see before season 3.
It is the last time we see him.
Yeah.
So, let's get into this, guys, because... As you guys may know, when it comes to these episodes, we like to do a scene by scene. We like to deep dive into every scene, analyse what we like, what we don't like, and just basically bombard you with Trekkie goodness and references that you might not have picked up on when you originally seen the episodes. So, my lovely, lovely hosts, let's get into it. So the cold open, we see Data playing Sherlock Holmes for the first time in 4 years, because behind the scenes, my God, did Paramount have some battles with the Arthur Conan Doyle estate in regards to Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
That is why we didn't see Sherlock Holmes for a long goddamn time, because Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's estate really weren't happy that Paramount were using their name in a Next Generation episode. That's why the last time we saw them was, I believe it was Pulaski in Season 2?
Yeah.
Which is where we first saw Professor Moriarty. So that's why there was a gap between them.
I knew nothing about this.
Did
this
you
is
not?
fascinating.
Yes.
Couldn't they have just done like a copyright safe one and had it like as like Urlock Bones or something? And then, like,
No.
it's on like Faker Street or something, and they're like going, no.
I tell
what do
you why.
mean?
I tell you why they couldn't, and it links into DS9's Our Man Bashir, the James Bond ripoff, because MGM, who owned James Bond at the time, went to Paramount and sent a very stiff letter and said, no, because this is far too close to James Bond. And this is what happened with the Conan Doyle estate. So it took 4 years of negotiating before they could use the Holmes name again.
I would take that battle in court, because James Bond never had a gay sidekick, whereas like our man Bashir had Garrick.
Yes. Well, we all know that Andrew portrayed Garrick as homosexual. He's inferred in it at so many conventions.
He's on the team. He's on the
He's on-
team.
he is on-
Honorary gay.
Well, yes, he is. So I know the legalities behind these shows can go on for a very long time, but we do see Data finally playing Sherlock Holmes, trying to deduce how this poor chap's brother is murdered, and he's getting so clever and he's getting so cocky in a Holmesian way, and he goes, because the person who did it is left-handed. But the dude catches it in his right hand.
Yeah.
So we see that there is a problem with the holodeck again, apparently. Again, yeah. So they call down Barclay, Lieutenant Anxiety, as I like to call him. They say
That's a brilliant name.
It
He
is.
should be called. No, he should be in the Klingon Empire and be General Anxiety.
General. That's a lot for Reg. Yeah, yeah. General Kirky. But yeah, so they call down Barclay and they say, "Can you just try and find out what's going on?" Barclay does some tinkering, and we see Moriarty appear.
Yeah, before we do this though, I just want to point out like how amazing it is. Like, how do we think the programs are being done now? Because obviously in the first Moriarty episode, we have it where Data's trying to solve the Sherlock Holmes stories, but because he's read them all, he just immediately just goes, "Oh, it's you," like, which is a cool detail. But then obviously they work on it, mixing them up, and then that's what creates Moriarty.
Yes.
Like where he says to the computer, "Hey, randomize it, make something challenging." So is this holo program that we're seeing like a randomly generated one? But the problem is that the way Data does it, Data kind of acts like he knows what the ending is, and it should be that he's left-handed, and he's not. So I'm like, is this a random one? I don't know enough about Sherlock Holmes to tell whether this is actually a proper story. All I remember is the speckled band where it's a fucking snake, and you're like, what?
I think
Like,
it's
in a time when we had guns, why would you get a baboon to put a bloody snake into an air vent and then have it drop down on someone's face? I'm just going, I know it's meant to be a confusing mystery, but like,
I think
guns.
it's Data using the evidence to deduce that this is absolutely what happened, but then there's a glitch in the computer and he's like, no, it is not physically possible for this to have occurred because of A, B, and C. So that's why they detected it. But obviously, Barclay activates Moriarty because that is the glitch in the system. Barclay explains to him that it's been 4 years since he was last activated. Moriarty wants to speak to Picard. Barclay leaves, but Moriarty reactivates himself. Kirsty.
But Moriarty here, this is crazy, this scene, because A, we get to see the full holodeck that doesn't happen that much. I think we get to see it here properly, and then I think in the Alien one, where they're recreating the table, I think we get to see the full grid holodeck there, but usually it's just a 5-second, oh, it's gone, you know. But the fact is that Moriarty says that he has been aware of being stored in memory, which is a terrifying detail.
It's
really, can you imagine if he like? And the idea, and you kind of have a level of sympathy for Moriarty, which is kind of weird. Like throughout the whole episode, you're a bit like, oh, you poor bastard.
It's almost like that. What he's translating, that he's essentially been dead, but aware that he's in a space of nothingness.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys would agree to that. Kirsty, what did you think about this?
Just in general. Like, what did you think?
In general, that obviously I agree with what you were saying about the Sherlock story. From that one, doesn't compare to any, particularly the Jeremy Brett stories or anything. It doesn't. The ones that Jeremy Brett acted out, it doesn't seem to link in. So it definitely feels like it's a more randomized story that has been created specifically to challenge Data. And obviously we've got Brent Spiner's just amazing character changes, the way he changes between different characters and into Sherlock, and he becomes it is.
Yeah.
I love how he just sort of loses the act as soon as he realizes he's wrong. And he's like, oh, just goes back to being Data.
And he just looks at Geordie going, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? I need to figure that out. But then you get this, I agree with the sympathy for Moriarty as well. You get Moriarty feel, you're like, oh my word, he has been, aware of snippets of passage of 4 years of time, and he's frustrated. He's full of, he actually almost hates Picard in this moment because he's like, he's not freed us. He promised me this and I haven't got it. So you do become sort of like, he's almost like an anti-hero a little bit. You kind of don't want to like him. but at this moment in time, you feel for him. And
well, Moriarty doesn't do anything bad. Essentially, like in the first episode he's in, he like kidnaps Pulaski or like holds her hostage, but then essentially he's just sitting there being like, "Have some scones, have some tea and biscuits," like and
He's a
she's just
charming
like,
villain.
yeah, and it's just that weird thing.
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"I will have to kill you, but hopefully not," and you just like.
Yeah.
I don't really want to. I will if necessary, and I think that sums up Moriarty very quickly. He's very driven, but obviously his consciousness that he has gained.
Yes.
He's not lost his intelligence because he's designed to challenge Data. The level of intelligence that he's playing with is huge, and that smirk he gives when Barclay thinks Barclay being Barclay, who is one of my I love him dearly.
Also,
he thinks
why would you get the guy who's a known holodeck sex pest? Why would you be like, oh, let's trust him with creating all the programs?
Because he knows where shit is hidden.
Yeah,
he knows it.
He knows where the homework folder in the computer is hidden.
Riker's homework.
Yeah, Riker's leg maneuvers.
Actually, Riker's the only one of the crew, aside from Picard, that probably isn't a holodeck sex pest. In regards to, we've got George.
He's a holodeck.
Who creates a holodeck girlfriend. We've got Barclay, who's, wow, I'm glad it's wiped clean. That's what the grid's there for. It's just like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Did anybody else get that overwhelming...
Get the mop. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Did you ever get that overwhelming feeling when Barclay went, release the stored memory, and everyone was just like, Barclay, just leave it. Barclay, behave, don't.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, plop, pops, here we go.
Oh, it's Moriarty. Thank fuck.
Yeah. So...
Imagine if it wasn't.
Oh, I know, yeah. Hang on, you're the engineer from Utopia Planitia. Oh, this is Geordie's program. Never mind. But yeah, so after the intro, we do get Stardate 46424.1. Again, for those people who don't know, these Stardates from the Next Generation onwards were based on the season numbers. So season 1 was 4-1 and so on and so forth. So this is season 6, so it's 4-6. Just a little tricky fact for you, but we get a summary from Picard that the Enterprise is in the Dedrian system to witness the collision of two gas giants, and when they collide we will see the birth of a new star. So that's the establishing premise of where the Enterprise is, so we know what's going on for that. Barclays goes to engineering and basically says Professor Moriarty wants to speak to the captain.
No, this is the thing. He doesn't. He doesn't go there to say this. He just randomly mentions it while at work. So he's literally.
I think he did.
He just said to Moriarty, "Yeah, I'll totally get on this." And then we're like, maybe this is like a week later or something. And he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I met this guy called Moriarty." I don't know why he sounds like that in my head.
Why does he sound like middle management? Hi guys. Hi.
Yeah.
Julian here.
This guy called Moriarty. Yeah.
When he goes to engineering, does he go knock knock?
No. Oh no! Instead, stop it, Ron.
Stop. No, let's not get it.
Moriarty. No. Okay.
But yeah, so Picard goes to the holodeck. Goes to holodeck 3. Picard sporting the lovely Picard jacket because Patrick Stewart was sick to death of doing this all the time because these things ride the fuck up.
Don't talk to me about them things riding up because at least yours is a top. Because I had the jumpsuit.
Oh no. So yeah, so we do get the lovely Picard jacket. It's because he was sick of doing the Picard maneuver. Just I love that jacket. Always wanted that jacket. So Picard meets Moriarty because Moriarty wants to know why has it took 4 years and why has nothing happened. Picard goes into what I like to call full complaint handler mode here. Because after 10 years of dealing with complaints and dealing with customers, the way Picard talks, I'm like, holy shit, he is a complaint handler. So he's like, I'm so sorry for your frustration and inconvenience. We have been trying, but unfortunately, and I'm like, oh, don't use the word unfortunately. No one likes that. That's a no word. That's a negative word. You have to put a positive on it. But basically, he just says that the top scientists in Starfleet and his crew have tried to find a way to bring him into their world, but they're no further forward. They don't know how to do it. And then Moriarty's like, I don't believe anything you say. I really don't believe anything you say. I believe that with will alone, I can walk off the holodeck. And Picard's like, no, you can't. You will dematerialize. Throws a book. Throws 50 Shades of Grey out, so it's dematerialized forever.
Twilight.
Throws Twilight. Ooh, controversial. He throws Twilight out of the and 50 Shades. Throws anything.
50 Shades of Gay. Is that...
50 Shades of Earl Grey. Throws
50,
it.
Yeah, that's it. 50 Shades of Earl Grey.
50 Shades of Earl Grey.
God's favourite book.
And it disappears. And Moriarty's going, no, I believe I can will myself into existence. And he walks out of the holodeck, and everyone's like, oh damn. And Moriarty, I mean, the actor who plays Moriarty is like, I think, therefore I am.
He is so good. And
yes.
It's this one little thing. Obviously, I'm a massive DS9 fan, and obviously my favourite thing about DS9 is how good the villains are in it and stuff.
Yes.
But like, Moriarty is like, it was why it was so good getting him back in season 3 of Picard. I mean, I know I complained on the episode that I didn't think he was used properly. Like, he was just like, oh, look, it's a cameo. And it wasn't Moriarty. It was like a memory of Moriarty.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of just going, I was just happy to see him again and just happy to acknowledge the Moriarty character again. But he's so fantastic. He's such a, like what I was saying before we started recording, how weird is it that we just accept all of this crazy stuff in Star Trek, where it just goes, hey, we're going to have an episode where they're all Robin Hood and his merry men. Oh, we're just going to have an episode where, like, an alien becomes a Mexican, like, singer on the bridge kind of thing. And then we have this, where it's like, oh, it's a fictional Sherlock Holmes character, and it's done in a totally serious way, in a perfectly scripted episode. And you're just like, okay, it's really amazing how it manages to pull it off. And it's his acting that does it. If he was like, I think if he was over the top, if he was like a flamboyant kind of like Moriarty, it wouldn't work. But because he plays it so perfectly, we just buy into it,
General Kirky, how did you feel when you first saw Moriarty walk out of the holodeck?
It was a total gobsmack moment, wasn't it? It was sort of like, how's he done it? That's what you want to know. How's this happened? You see it on Data's face as well, and he's like,
I love Data just being like, this is not possible. Like,
not possible. And there's that, oh my God moment. The Enterprise is, for want of a better word, it's that. This is right. This is how are they going to deal with this? What are they going to do with this? How are they going? We've got a new life form. What is this?
Yeah.
And Barclay just being like, oh, yes, it's possible.
Yes.
Oh, there's more to me. Oh.
Daddy's got it.
Yeah. Because it's a case of, because the next scene, they take him to sickbay, and this is one of only 2 appearances of Crusher, criminally underused in The Next Generation. And she goes, well, he appears to be human, a little bit odd in certain places, but he appears to be fully human. And Picard, who is generally gobsmacked, goes, well, now that you're here, what do you want to do? And what are we going to do with you? And Moriarty genuinely just goes, I just want to explore this new world that I now inhabit. I want to see what's out there. I want to go, what sea do we sail in? Can we go above deck? Is the weather fair? And then you realise it's like, yes, he knows from the previous Dalents that this is a ship, but he is firmly of the belief that it's a sailing ship. It is a ship of sea. It's not anything else. So for Picard to take him to 10 forward, and we see his reaction to, I'm in the stars. I am sailing through the heavens, as he said. I love it. This is why I also love Sherlock Holmes so much, because it is of a time where such colourful language was so commonplace, and it was so frequently used by people, because we don't get that nowadays. We really don't. The language is far more simplistic and far more, yeah, you look mint, you. But it's
I think that was it. It's so eloquent. And I remember reading it at school, and that it's probably the reason why I'm like as eloquent. Like, I can't say eloquent. I can't say how eloquent I am after I've said the fuck word a lot.
Go forth and multiply.
Daddy's got it. But you know, like it was that idea of just like it really improves your vocabulary reading like stuff like this. It's not like there's a lot of old stuff where it's a bit crap or where it tries to be a bit grandiose, whereas Sherlock Holmes really works, like the way all the language works and stuff, and it goes through the full gamut of characters and lifestyles and stuff
Yeah.
through all the stories.
It's really well, because Star Trek did this all the way through its run. It didn't treat its audience like they were stupid. It used the colourful adjectives. It used far more descriptive words. It educated. I mean, for me, seeing this when I'm like a wee bairn, and just understanding these words, I felt so goddamn intelligent after watching Star Trek, and then trying to say these words at school, and like Dale's just like, "What are you saying, you absolute mong?" And it's like, do you know what I mean? And it's just like no one gets it.
That's a word we're missing from Klingon.
It is, yes.
We're from Star Trek.
Patach!
The race called the Mongs.
Patach chu Mong. But yeah.
That's it. That's my name, General Mong. Chancellor Mong.
But again, Picard.
Chancellor Mong.
But Picard again is still quite rightly befuddled by the whole situation. And Moriarty.
I just want to say, how crazy is it though? Like Moriarty hasn't been that bad thus far in it.
Yes.
But because of his reputation, because of how he's programmed, there's this level of apprehension where everyone is a bit like, oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, there's
like we're
trust
saying,
issues.
when he steps off the holodeck, you feel that they're all just like, oh, we have a supervillain who can now wander around the ship. And even though it's that weird thing, like it's like Garak in DS9. You know the episode where he's like, why is everyone so nice to me nowadays? And it's because he's so useful, but they've forgotten what he actually is. And he, and then it has a whole episode of going, no, you can't trust this guy. He is... And I love the idea that this like has that kind of effect of they don't trust him at all, even though he hasn't done anything based entirely on his reputation.
Yes.
But then there is that bit in the back of your mind where you're like, yeah, is he just going to try and take over the galaxy or try and, do crazy shit?
But in this scene, he's still genuine. He's like, I want to learn everything I can. I want to learn about the ship. I want to learn about the galaxy, the stars. But he says, I'm a man out of time and I'm alone. So he imposes upon Picard to to say, well, if it's possible for me, can we bring out the Countess Bartholomew, who is someone who was created for Data's programs, but I have a great affinity with her, a great affection. She is more than just a character for me. She is someone whom I love.
In the books, because obviously Moriarty only appears like 4 times in Sherlock Holmes.
I don't think she is.
I'm sure he has a love interest, but I don't know if it's her.
I don't think it's her. I think she was created specifically for Data's stories, his procedurally generated stories. But he wants Countess Bartholomew to be brought out of the holodeck.
And while we're talking about how good literally this is, like in terms of Arthur Conan Doyle, this harkens back to Frankenstein. Well, in terms of Frankenstein as in the Bride of Frankenstein, where it's the idea that the creature wants a mate.
A mate.
Where he basically goes back to Dr. Frankenstein. He's like, hey, build me a mate. That sounds weird, but build me a sexy lady. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
I want boom boom.
Sexy lady.
Yes. Let me have the sex.
Yeah, we can have the sex, not just sex. The sex. That's how dramatic it's going to be.
SEKS.
Oh, I've arrived.
I'm coronating.
That's how I do it.
I'm coronating. Sorry.
Oh God. Wait.
Why am I doing this?
Is that how Charles does it? Is that how like
that's a really optimistic.
Just like,
it's a really optimistic prostate exam.
Like, I get it.
Yes, it's an optimistic.
Oh, that's wrong. That's Pfizer.
Deep breath, Mr. Smith. But yeah, I mean.
Deep breath, Camilla.
I mean, Kirkby. I want to get your insights into Moriarty, like because like me and Graham have said, it's not funny, Graham. It's like what me and Graham have said, like it's that apprehension that he seems genuine. Did do you also feel that there was something when you were watching this, that there was at the back of your head, like there's an ulterior motive?
Obviously. I mean, I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan as well.
Oh, yes.
I think as soon as you see Moriarty, it's that whole when he says he can't trust Picard, the thought in my head was, well, we definitely can't trust you.
Yes.
And even when he's out there and he's seeing Genuine and he's like, oh, it's the stars, and the whole, I mean, the ship reference, the sailing ship reference is something that runs all the way through Next Generation. But
yes.
then you have this whole thing, he's like, the stars, I want to learn, and he's like, I'll give you books, and he's like, yes. But then instantly it's like he's got to play it for that more, and you can start to see the mind ticking over in him. From the moment he became on screen, I didn't trust him. And it's that you can see the devious nature in him starting to tick straight away, even though initially he seems genuine. Straight away I was like, he's starting to manipulate. You could see it. You could almost the words he was using.
Yes.
Behold upon you. Yeah, because he knows he's like, you kind of owe me, Picard.
Yeah, because we then get into the observation lounge in the next scene where they're debating the moral quandary and the physical possibility of bringing another holodeck character, whilst they are still absolutely bamboozled at the fact that this holodeck character has walked out of the holodeck, where at this point in the Star Trek timeline, that is not possible. There is no emitters. There is nothing. So how has this happened? So
how does in Voyager, how does it happen that the mobile emitter exists? Isn't it?
It's from the future.
I get confused, in Red Dwarf, where isn't it? They go to the future and it's been invented in the future and they bring it back in time.
So in Voyager,
what happens in Voyager?
In Voyager, they go to the 29th century. And
right.
the mobile emitter has already been invented, so they bring it back. In Red Dwarf, the ship has... I know it's Red Dwarf, but there's sort of emitters throughout the ship.
Yeah.
But Arnold's not... he's not corporeal. He's not... You can't touch him until he gets hard light. Yeah. So with Star Trek... holograms can only exist within the parameters of the holodeck because that is where the emitters are. That's where the photons and force fields can be created. Later on, we see, specifically, I mean, in Picard, where the Last Serena has emitters throughout the ship. So you get several Cristobal Rioses, which, yay.
And then it just doesn't use it properly at all.
I don't know. He uses it pretty goddamn well for several Cristobal Rioses.
Obviously, what I would do with a team of Rios is, that's
a violation of the Prime Directive.
That's going to take a full bottle of hand cream. But it's the idea of too much information. But the idea of like, they didn't use that enough. But I like the idea that they haven't got there yet with the fact that we know that is a possibility later, where you get the mobile emitter and the Doctor being able to be anywhere. Isn't it crazy though? Like, what would happen if they just went, oh yeah, actually Moriarty, mobile emitters exist now. There you go. That'd be amazing. Just have a spin-off series all about Moriarty. I mean, the actor's probably too old now, but
I don't know. He's pretty sprightly in Picard. I did enjoy
he walks
the
down a corridor.
That's enough for Star Trek. That is enough for Star Trek. But they make the decision that it's too risky to bring another character, primarily because they don't know what they are bringing and they might lose the character if they try to materialise them outside of the holodeck. Picard faces Moriarty, is quite honest with him and says, because you adore and love the Countess, we don't want to take the risk of losing her. This is when the more sinister side of Moriarty comes out, where he says, I might need to take matters into my own hands. And this is what you were saying, Kirky, about the ulterior motive is starting to manifest itself on screen. And you're like, oh, what is he going to do? Because it goes straight to the bridge. They've arrived.
I just want to say though, I disagree with Kirky here in the capacity of
get the battle.
I was totally taken in here. Like it's how well the actor does it. That when I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, he's totally being good. He's totally just being genuine and stuff. And it's that idea of that's exactly what Moriarty does. So it's the idea of the actor is playing Moriarty, and I love the idea that I love the idea that basically I would have believed Moriarty here, and I don't really think throughout this episode he does anything really that wrong. Like in terms of he does hold the ship hostage technically, which is the scene we're getting into here. Suppose that could be kind of bad, really. But it's this
It was
idea
only
of like,
attempted murder.
yeah, if you don't succeed, it doesn't count.
Try and try
right?
again. No, I mean, anyway.
Don't tell me on that. But no, but
Delete
I was
browser
totally
history.
taken in by him and the idea of like, I think I think he's sensible. Like what he does in this, like having sort of backup plans and having a kind of fallback in case the captain doesn't want to do what he wants. I think it's kind of sensible considering his situation because what else are they going to do? They're going to put him back in the computer, and if he's actually not lying about experiencing it, because we've got to face that maybe he is lying about experiencing the passage of time or something, you know. But if he isn't, then you're like, yeah, you can't just do that, man.
Ooh, do you have a rebuttal, General?
He makes a fair point. I mean, no, I genuinely could, like I said from the beginning, I was like, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. And I do believe there is a petulant child nature from him. I think the second he gets told, no, you're not having that, he's like, I am. And I'll get it. And I'll do whatever I want to get it. And that is that. It is definitely the sort of, the Moriarty sort of, I won't be told no. I am far too intelligent, far too more over you. You don't care if you're the captain of this ship or not. I'm not. I'm not having this. So no, but you make a fair point because, you know, his actions seem mild at first.
Yeah. Wait, this is the thing. It's the idea of like, it's like sort of having a lovely conversation with someone and then looking down and realizing they've got a knife against your chest. It's like that where you're like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that was what we were doing. And that's exactly what Moriarty does in this next scene.
Well, yeah, because
like, oh, by the way, you know?
Yeah, because they arrive at the two gas giants and they're trying to launch a probe, and all the command codes are being rerouted. So they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then find out that Moriarty has taken over the ship.
And Moriarty command codes on a post-it note next to the monitor.
Well, of course,
one of those bloody officers.
If it's always Picard 47 Alpha Tango and you never change your password, guys, this is a reminder: change your password.
It's going to need an @ symbol and an underscore.
We need a special character, Captain. It's so because he's taken over. He's basically his demands are: you have got 5 hours until these two gas giants collide to bring the Countess Bartholomew into reality, or we all die. And Picard's like, but you'll die as well. But quite poetically, he's like, well, life's not worth living if I don't have the Countess with me to live it with. And I'm like, it's a justifiable cause for him. I'm not saying it's right, but it is a justifiable cause because he is in this new world. He is alone. The one person he loves, he cannot take with him to explore this new world with. You know, an Englishman in New York, a fish out of water. If you are alone, you are alone, and you can't share these experiences with you. So it is a justifiable evil when it comes to this. So we then get the engineering scene where they're trying to come up with a plan to how to bring the Countess out of the holodeck, and Data theorizes that they can use a transporter, but the problem is there is currently, because it's a holographic image, it's photons and force fields, there is nothing physical for the transporter to lock on. So they believe, well, if we modify the pattern enhancers to compensate for the phase variance of the holodeck, God damn it, I thought I could get that through that in one thing.
Phase variance.
The phase variance.
The phase variance.
Phase variance.
It's
not Doctor Who.
Yeah, they could bring the character out of the holodeck safely. They don't know how he has overwritten the security codes, and Picard asked LaForge to see if there was a way to undo what Moriarty has done, which is, it's like, right, okay, so far this is what they are trying to do. We've got a premise. They're trying to figure it out. So we see the first introduction of the Countess Bartholomew on the holodeck, where Barclay visits her as he's installing the pattern enhancers. Lovely little to and from between them both, because the Countess is fully aware of who she is, what she is, and where she is going. And we do see this lovely scene between Moriarty and herself.
I have to say, before we get that far, how amazing is this character in, like, this actress where she's so endearing. She literally, this is the first time we've ever seen her, and I just go like, can't we have more of her? Like, one episode is not enough for
I love,
Moriarty and her
I
because,
love.
like,
Stephanie Beecham.
Yes.
I just love it though. Like, just the sort of like, you've been to Africa. I have. And
It was quite an
I love
adventure.
all of it. She's just like,
Yeah.
I got to wear trousers.
Trousers,
the whole time.
yes. I loved that because she's portraying genuine joy. Because she's like, oh, it was a wonderfully good time. I got to wear trousers throughout the whole mission. And you're just like, yes, she fully believes it. It's so endearing. So endearing.
Yeah. And Barclay's just like, uh-huh. It's like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He keeps going, so.
I do love that Barclay's entire point in like this is now that he's become a bit more confident and he's a bit more self-assured and stuff, he's just going, is everything always this confusing? Like, is it this different? He's being like a main character, like always this confusing.
I know Dwight Schultz is getting on a bit, but he will always be howling mad Barclay for me, and I would love to see him in any future Star Trek. Even if it's just the tiniest of cameos, I would love to see him happy, hydrated, in his own lane, living his best life.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think that was one of the cameos that, in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping for in like Picard. But I think it's probably better though with Barclay because he maybe has a bigger fan following than some of the ones we got, like sort of Roe and stuff. Like, because he has a bigger fan following than that, then he should be in like the spin-off. They should genuinely.
Well, it's Star Trek Legacy. It's Legacy.
Yeah,
so
Legacy.
He is a legacy character. Come on.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
We've got to think, like, he is responsible for Voyager getting home.
Yeah, he's a hero.
Obviously, my lore isn't as good as, like, yours, the both of you by a long shot, but it's the idea of, like, where does Barclay stand in the lore after Voyager? Like,
you're up.
You know how we're talking about, like, how O'Brien is worshipped as a god practically. Where's Barclay? Because it's like, hey, you're the reason Voyager got home. You're the reason, like, sort of like this new technology exists. You're the reason why, like, holographics has improved so much.
He's barely been mentioned in Lower Decks. That's it.
Yeah, I think it was only a couple. I mean, I remember one episode, I think it was Voyager, where he ended up on a beach. He was on a beach with Deanna Troi, I do believe.
Yeah, he followed her to Malaysia, as you do. To stalk your counsellor.
Stalking your psychologist. And she's like, I'm on holiday from you, and you're here,
she's like, this is what the old Facebook was before World War III. Okay.
We'll just follow you.
Yeah. So Barclay's there to install these pattern enhancers. They want to try it on a chair first instead of the lovely Countess. They try to beam the chair into the transporter room. Doesn't work. Data goes, right, okay, let's have a look at the transporter logs. There are no transporter logs in the system. So it's like, oh, what's going on? Things are a bit hinky.
Yeah.
So they go back to engineering where LaForge goes to Picard. I think I found a way to take control of the ship. I just need you to pop in your PIN number, please, which is the first sus thing. Anyone, guys, chat, anyone watching, if you ever do that, I will find you.
Yeah, this is exactly it. Like, okay, so everyone in the chat, okay, this is our advice to you. If you are ever walking into engineering and someone asks you to give them all of the access codes or whatever, then don't.
Don't.
Yeah.
This
don't
is
do
the
it.
earliest example of a phishing attempt.
Yeah.
Like a phishing attack in the 90s.
Yeah.
What happens
Scam!
here?
It's a scam call.
Yeah. Kirk,
Your ship isn't working properly. Let me take over your screen and operate it for you.
yeah.
That's it. You've won 10,000 bars of gold press platinum. Please just scan your thumbprint here.
I am a Talaxian prince and I would like to deposit. And it's like, no. Kirkby, don't worry about your light. You're absolutely fine. Don't
And then
worry.
it's getting more dramatic. Like,
Yes,
the
it's
prophet
mood
slapped
lighting.
you.
It's mood lighting.
I'm just gonna be a bit of white hair soon, and that's gonna be it.
Well,
Kirkby the
you've
White.
got the red light from there, so you're getting slowly becoming a par wraith. So
Oh,
you
here we
started
go.
off with the
Oh.
prophets, and now you've gone par wraith.
Your par is strong, child. So
God,
this is...
Hold on, I'll check a par. Go on. Oh. Oh, you're gonna get married young. It's gonna be lovely. You're gonna go on holiday to Barbados. Lovely.
So the new,
Lovely.
the new
Goodwill
Kai
just
of
being like, moving on.
the new
Moving
Kai of Bajor is Tina from Lancashire. So that's
I love it. Going anywhere now?
hey, they got a jumja. Anyway, so
Grab my jumbo stick.
no,
That's
no,
it.
no, no,
Jump just grab
No,
my
no.
jumbo stick.
no. It's thick and juicy. But so
Bye, Mark.
back
Bye,
to bye, Mark.
welcome, Mark.
Do you want to come
Bye.
on our show, Mark? Seriously, I would love to have you on our show, dude. Honestly,
On the show.
yeah, we need to check your par. But so we're back. We're back at engineering. Picard wrongly, everyone, enters his credit card details and PIN number and date of birth into the computer, and then Data comes and goes, "Oh yeah, this isn't real." And he goes,
You could have 5 seconds earlier, Data.
Yeah.
If Data was capable of running, you know. If
I
Data
love the
was
fact though,
being in a hurry.
in classic 90s drama, he's like, I know how Moriarty took over the ship from the holodeck. How did he do that? We never left the holodeck. Da-da-da-da. Fade to black. Yeah. And then he's like,
And then advert break.
So
And
he's
then after
explaining.
We've learned all about Hershey's or whatever they advertise in America. Guns
yeah.
or something.
So he's,
Then we get
it's Patrick Stewart promoting New Mercuries. So he explains that we've never left the holodeck. It's me, you, and Barclay. We're the real people. He's like, how could you be sure? And he's just like, let me just yeet this comm badge into the warp core. Because in the next generation, the Office of Health and Safety doesn't exist because these dudes do goddamn experiments next to the most powerful thing on the starship all the goddamn time. They do
I love
phaser
that
tests.
I love the meme where they've got the phaser
Right?
test. It's literally pointing towards the warp core, and you're just sitting there, be like, "How intelligent are you again, Data? Let's just check that one."
Yeah, so he's just like, oh yeah, comm badge, woof, and it's just like, what happens if you were wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, just think with your positronic brain a little bit and try not to yeet it at the wall, yeet it at the carpet. Don't yeet it at the fucking warp core.
The Goodwill, they can't do that because then they'd have to make another wall for the set. They'd literally have to pretend.
Don't you be coming in here with your logic.
But
An extra piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Come on. It's
Yeah.
still broken from when Data threw that Borg into it. They're just like, oh.
But then they realise that obviously Picard's given his commands and he's taken over the ship. So we get the
How clever is this, by the way? The fact that this is Moriarty's
the first
move.
phishing scam.
Yeah, that's it. The first
In
phishing
space.
scam. But it's the idea
Space
that
spishing.
he's spishing. That sounds like something else. That sounds like an action you have to pay for.
I'm
But,
spishing.
Oh my god! Oh, I'm spitting.
47 Alpha Tango. Anyway.
I've arrived. But like, how crazy is it though that like this massive elaborate scheme just to get that, and then as soon as he's got it, he's like, "Hello, bitches."
Yeah, because he goes to the bridge. Yeah, he goes to the bridge. Riker is naturally pissed off, not doing the Riker maneuver because times are too serious for a leg over. He's like, "You've
Also,
taken command of the holodeck. Please
How
don't
does
look
he
in my
get to the
files."
bridge?
He doesn't get to
Like-
the bridge. He
Okay.
transmits from the holodeck to the bridge.
Okay, I was gonna say I was just like I can't remember him being on the bridge because
No,
obviously that would be
no.
like the whole point of the episode.
He transmits to the bridge and he's like, I've taken control of your ship. And he's like, we've got 3 hours until these 2 stars explode. Basically, he says the crew in the holodeck have tried to beam matter out of the holodeck onto the transporter. This is what they are doing. Obviously, it didn't work. You guys can do it because you are in the real world. Crack on with it. So, to show that he's not messing about, he raises the temperature of the warp core, and they're like, okay, right, reduces the temperature. We then get this very charming scene of Picard and the Countess. Oh, sploosh in this scene. Really?
I love her so much.
Really? But how charming is Jean-Luc?
Yeah.
Always.
I mean,
he's well now.
were you
we can
swooning,
say that
Kirkby? Were you
he's a-
swooning?
Yes.
Oh
Well,
my!
now we can say because of Picard season 3, he's a certified DILF. So we're just like, way.
He's a gilf.
A gilf.
Gilf.
He's a
Is
gilf.
he a gilf?
He's
not a
80.
gilf
He's
yet,
82. He's a gilf.
Well, doesn't
No, I think
Daniel's got
I
a
think
son
you need
anyway.
to have grandkids to be a gilf.
Stashwick is a dilf.
Yeah.
Riker and Picard are gilfs. Klingons are kilf. Worf's a kilf. Yeah. The expanded canon. I mean, memory beta for this. It's just going to be crazy. We'll make it a memory alpha one day. We will get this in-universe kilf.
I love that now
Kilf.
we've got hashtag
Candle slag.
and kill.
Hashtag kilf. Klingon I'd like to find honour with. But yeah, so but it's a really charming scene because we do get this is a rare sight for us to see charming Jean-Luc. We get it when he's with what's the name on Riser where they're treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Where he's Nathan Picard, as I like to call him. we do get it with Beverly Crusher, where he's like, I could be your candle in the Naked Now in the first season episode. It's a really nice scene, and he's trying to convince her to convince Moriarty to release the ship, and he's like, we are working to decouple the Heisenberg compensators so they don't track every molecule. We believe this will happen, and this will allow you to get into the real world. Can you tell Moriarty this? We won't do it until he releases control. So we go back to the bridge, where we find out that the Enterprise is not far enough to be shielded from the two planets colliding and a star forming. So they've got 25 minutes left. So the tension is building. The Countess tells Moriarty of the proposition, and he's like, I've got them where I want them. Oh, what? Go on. What do you want to say?
No, I was just agreeing with you. He's like, oh yes, I've done it, I'm happy. And then he's like, starts with these demands, doesn't he? He's like probably dark.
Yes, he does. So he tells the bridge crew what he wants them to do with the transporter. We go to the holodeck, where we see the Countess and Moriarty beam into the transporter room, where Wyker.
Yeah,
Wyker.
Sorry, Jonathan Was. So we see look at Shania Twain. Sorry.
So random.
Sorry. I'm on one tonight, guys. They beam into the transporter. They beam into the transporter room. Everything seems to be a success. Riker's like, yes, haha, well done. Give me back the ship.
Yeah.
And Moriarty has one further demand. His plans are forming, and he's like, I want one of your shuttlecraft, so me and the Countess can explore. Once I am free of your trap, I will relinquish the control. And I'm like, oh, Moriarty, just please keep talking, please. It's lovely.
What's the phrase he says? It's something like, I shall give you the codes when I'm looking at your ship from a shuttle pod window. Oh, something.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
something to that effect. Yeah, so they give him a shuttlecraft. They fly off.
From the one hangar bay that they have.
Yes.
I never noticed this until you mentioned it last week, where you were like, we never get to see Shuttle Bay 3 because it doesn't exist.
So we have, in the Next Generation, the Enterprise D has 3 shuttle bays. Shuttle Bay 1, which is the huge hangar off the back of the bridge that you see on screen. Shuttle Bay 2, Shuttle Bay 3, which are on the dorsal spar. That's the neck of the Enterprise D.
Dorsal Spa sounds like, that sounds like a...
It sounds like a shop in Dorsal, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah,
Dorsal Spa.
I'm off to Dorsal Spa to get some bread.
Welcome to Dorsal Spa.
Yeah.
You will see many attractions. Please, if you look to your left, you will see a man getting mugged by seagulls. But...
That seagull's lucky because it's not in Sunderland. Moving on.
Well, that's it. Because what do they do in Sunderland? They fuck the seagull.
If no one knows, or you're from America, Google seagull in Sunderland. You will want to burn your laptop.
Why is Sunderland turning into our Florida? I know I live here, but it's literally Sunderland man does something.
I blame your velour.
Joking.
Yes.
See, I don't live there anymore, so I don't hear these things, even though I'm not far.
Google it.
A guy fucked a seagull.
Oh, spoilers!
He didn't. if you couldn't have guessed that was the story from what we'd already said,
I kind of
there's
did.
no
I was
hope.
just
He
being
procreated.
diplomatic.
No, he didn't. He didn't actually fuck the seagull. I love that we're talking about this on Picard. Hi, Mark. But hi everyone in chat. Hi, Beth. Enjoy your cereal. Anyway, but no, I think he didn't. I think he tried jacking off, rubbing against the seagull, which is. But no, I love the fact. No, apparently what happened was Why am I saying this? Apparently the seagull tried to attack him or something. So his reaction was to just wank with it, and you're like, okay, don't get you angry. I get that. This is the weirdest defense mechanism I've ever seen, but go with it.
Welcome to
Anyway,
Sunderland.
Moriarty gets in a
So anyway, yeah. So my little Trek fact.
Yes.
There are 3 shuttle bays on the Enterprise D. We see Hangar Bay 2 and 3 all the time because they are smaller studios, easier to do. The reason why we don't see Hangar Bay 1 was because it is literally an aircraft carrier. So the Enterprise D is essentially a huge aircraft carrier. It has dozens and dozens of shuttles, multiple floors. The Hangar Bay is, as close as I can put it, you know the scene in Red Dwarf where Kat's dancing with the blue midget? It's not out of context, that's what it's called. That's how big the hangar bay of the Enterprise D is, but we never see it because for budgetary reasons it was never in there. It's beautifully being fleshed out in Unreal Engine, in tours and stuff like that. If you ever see it, YouTube it, it is huge. My only other tidbit for this scene is that Moriarty and the Countess Bartholomew, I love saying that, board this shuttle. There is 2 different shuttles using this set because they are cheaping out on the effect. We get Shuttle Goddard, or the Type 15 shuttle, in them boarding it, and then the interior shots, and then we see Shuttle 3 leaving. So, but if you look at it, the exterior windows don't match what we see in the interior, which is a bit. But that's my little Trek tidbit.
I did not notice that.
That's a Trek spot and a half, isn't it? That's a proper...
don't have a life. So please be my friend.
A lot of Star Trek models.
Yes, the wall of bankruptcy. Which ironically I have both shuttles on. But yeah, so they leave the Enterprise, and Moriarty, to his credit, relinquishes control of the Enterprise. He's got what he wants, and he gives the control back. And then we find the ultimate twist, that everything that Moriarty experienced after beaming into the transporter room was in itself a holodeck simulation.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
How amazing is that, though? Like, that
yes.
is the perfect... Like, they literally beat him at his own game.
They created a holodeck in the holodeck so they can holodeck while they holodecked. Which is essentially what happened.
I love that the computer's just like, you want to do what? It's just Module Brad's voice just being like, please re-specify request. You know?
Yeah, but it's brilliantly done. They deactivate all the holodecks and they pull out. Barclays pulls out the cube, and then we do get the little epilogue, the little wrap up where Picard goes, "We ingeniously created a holodeck within the holodeck," and then they explain. And I think it's really nice that they did this for Moriarty, despite him putting them in danger.
Oh, it stopped working for me.
What stopped working for you, dear?
My Zoom's frozen.
Oh no!
What
a face! He's back.
Yeah, sorry, my Zoom froze there. It was just like, what? Your internet connection is unstable. Well, so am I. So we go together.
We're all unstable.
But yeah, going dark.
Do you?
I want back on that because we saw you were saying that he gets the cube out, like, and I love that he gets the cube and then puts it into this other thing that he says is like a memory expander.
It's lovely.
It reminded me of being a kid where you got the Game Boy thing. You know, how you could soup up the Game Boy by putting the big, massive block around it. And I was just like, okay, very 90s.
Well, I have a question for you both, and I will start with the lovely General in regards to this. So, this is a multifaceted question, so please bear with me. Obviously, Barclays stores this cube and its power generator somewhere on the Enterprise D. Do you think that either it survived the crash on Viridian 3, or did they take it to Daystrom Station, or the Daystrom Institute, I don't know what it was called in Lower Decks, to be stored with the other sophisticated AIs, as in Jeffrey Combs from Lower Decks?
Oh, that's the buddy comedy we need. We need the buddy comedy of fucking Moriarty. Jeffrey Combs as the android, as the killing machine cube, and then the Countess Bartholomew. I can't even say.
But what do you think, Kirby? Because I'm really interested to get both of your opinions on this.
I thought, well, when I saw obviously Moriarty in Picard, that was one of the questions that sort of jumped in my head as to, is he part of, is he what, when, why? Because at the time you were still waiting for the cliffhanger, weren't you?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, where's this coming from? And obviously we'd seen various relics, so this was something that popped in my head initially. I mean, the likelihood of something surviving that would be quite high, I reckon, if the Galaxy class when it was quite a robust ship. So the idea was that if they were able to restore what they did and retrieve what they did, the likelihood that would have survived. It also depends where Barclay stored it, because he seemed to be very, very lovingly taking care of it. It was obviously something he was very, very proud of.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of that surviving, yes. Was it taken to Daystrom? Most likely. Was that Moriarty from that? I don't think so.
That was a copy. That was I think it was Data or the amalgamation of Data Law and everyone else creating that facsimile.
It was Data trying to reach out to Riker, because after you'd recognised him through the AI, But I think it probably did survive. In all honesty, if that answers what you were asking, yes, I do.
What do you think, Synoiz?
Well, I think it's the fact of, like we say, I believe in Picard's sincerity when he's talking to Moriarty of, we didn't forget you, we were doing stuff, but we thought we had more time. Like we thought you weren't aware of passage of time, so we were taking it kind of slowly. I reckon it probably didn't stay on the Enterprise for that long. I'm pretty sure that the next time they get to Daystrom or something, they drop it off. Like Picard goes, "Hey, not going to forget it this time. Let's drop this off."
To be studied.
Because obviously this is fascinating. The idea of
a sophisticated AI.
All of the stuff that he produces. So that's why I was disappointed by the appearance in Picard, because obviously we were talking about it in the episodes leading up to it, where we're like, we know Moriarty appears. How does Moriarty appear? And all the stuff that I was chatting to people about and stuff was, maybe that's how you get into Daystrom. So, because obviously my big
we also theorized that, didn't we? We said maybe Moriarty is the AI.
Yeah, if the AI, if Daystrom Station is built upon like B4 and the AI protecting it is like Data or something like that, then is it that you use Moriarty to get into Daystrom Station, and that's how he'd come into it? But then instead, what we got was a very hollow cameo where it's Data's memory.
Cameo, well done.
I did not. That is
yes, thank you. Bravo.
Praise. I eat praise for breakfast. Nom nom nom.
You get the golden com badge of praise.
Dabo!
It's not a gold star. I do have a gold star. I'm not going to get the gold star for you. No. You can have the com badge.
But so I was disappointed in Picard. I think they could have done a lot more with it. But then as we're realizing, there's a lot of stuff they wanted to do with Picard season 3, and they had to be let's not even bother. But I like the idea that Moriarty exists. I like the idea that future holographic stuff that we see in Star Trek is based upon what Moriarty's program brings to the mix. And I like the idea that maybe he exists somewhere. Like maybe he's got a mobile emitter and he's actually off doing things or something. That's what I think in my head canon. And I don't think they're going to prove me wrong. I don't think they're going to go into it in enough detail to say no, that's not possible. And I've just dropped my phone.
Overall, though, I do believe this was a fantastic episode. This is a classic episode of The Next Generation. It's got twists and turns. It's got jeopardy. It's got tremendous acting from all involved yet again. We do get to see Moriarty. We love a bit of Sherlock Holmes in Star Trek. They just... Data and Sherlock Holmes go hand in hand. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I love rewatching this episode for this podcast as well. It was a great choice from the Dabo Wheel. I do hope that if Star Trek Legacy is greenlit, there's nothing going on at the moment because there is currently the Writers Guild strike in America where no pitches are allowed until that is cleared. So any talk of Star Trek Legacy has been put on the back burner. So I hope we get him because he is a legendary character, let's be honest. But overall, loved this episode. Great choice. I just, I can't. It's a great episode. It is a standalone episode.
I think it summarizes everything that is great about Star Trek. Because we have this idea of the holodeck mixing old sort of, like old world stuff like Sherlock Holmes or whatever, and this fantasy kind of element in with sci-fi elements, in with this is a typical, hey, we've got a problem, how do we scientifically fix it? Rather than it just being like, oh, we magically fixed it, or some other element came in and fixed it for us that we see in a lot of other shows. In this one, like, while we don't see it necessarily, we know the Data's gone, hey, we created our own version of the ship to trick Moriarty. And, you just go, oh, that's so clever. Like, and obviously we get characterization. We get, like, we get a bit of knowledge about Barclay, and we get knowledge about Moriarty and Picard. And it's just, I think everyone bar Roy gets some time in this episode, I think. Even if most of them are holographic. I mean, do we get to see normal? No, we get to see normal Geordie at the beginning.
And that's it. Yeah.
Do we get to see Riker at all?
Yes, we do, towards the end.
The hologram?
Yeah. Towards the end.
Okay, right, cool.
Yeah.
I have a question for chat, though, if it's permitted, for when it goes out. Given the state, if you've ever, all the episodes that we've had with, holodecks and all these holodeck stories, would you still use one?
Oh, that's for the chat, and also it's for the comments below. Please leave us a comment if you would still use. Off the back of the transporter thing from season 3, would you use a transporter, but would you use a holodeck, knowing the risks? That is a really, really good question.
I mean, hold on. In this theory, has someone done a scan of Jake Gyllenhaal, Kirky?
It will be in the archives.
My answer kind of hinges on that. So,
if you're going to put yourself into peril, obviously that there would have been that could be an absolute yes.
I might have to turn safe mode off. So,
oh dear.
Oh
my.
Oh my.
But hang on a minute, guys. I'm getting an incoming transmission.
Incoming transmission.
Oh my god.
It's turned off.
Oh my god. I realise I haven't put the cameras correctly for the Dabo Wheel. Never mind.
Oh my god, you fucked it up.
Oh my god. I've absolutely fucked it.
Pig's ear of it, you have.
I've fucked it. Never mind. I have a backup.
I love how Kirky just generally descending into darkness. it's just.
Oh wow, she's into the void. She's where Moriarty stayed for 4 years. But yeah, so sorry about that, guys. Brief technical hiccup there. I thought I'd sorted it, but never mind. I do have the Dabo Wheel, ladies and gentlemen. The Dabo Wheel. And I think it's going to be time that we spin it.
Hold on.
Spin it.
Hold on. Code of honor. Actually, before we do it, because we've had 2 perfect episodes that are tied into season 3 of Picard, what would you reckon would be the other perfect episode? What episode could we spin where we would just be like, Christ, this is fixed?
Season 7, episode 24, where Ro Laren defects to the Marquis.
Yep.
Okay, that would be insane if we got that. That would be insane. Okay, but...
Ooh. Hedge your bets now in the chat, guys.
Best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. Come on, best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. Right, guys, I am going to be spinning the Dabo Wheel. I will be spinning it if I can get it to work. There we go. And it's spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning. And I can't see it. Why can't I see it? The double wheel is broken. Everything's gone all Pete Tong.
Oh
Oh,
God.
gone Pete Tong.
It really has. It's not working.
Not working.
It's not working. Hang on, guys. You're about to see how the sausage is made.
Oh, dear.
So
Oh.
Daddy, how the sausage made.
interact. I apologise
Okay,
for that.
So, Kirky, you been on any nice holidays?
We got a spin, science
Nice
officer.
holidays lately.
Holidays. Been on a
Been on a
holiday.
nice
Oh, dear.
holiday.
Right, we
Why-
are spinning, guys. We are spinning.
Okay, wait.
Dabo! We are going to be watching next week's Star Trek Voyager's episode Flashback.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Well, let's see what this one's about, shall we? Shall we get the synopsis for this so people know
Yeah,
what
go on,
the...
get your synopsis out.
Get your
Oh,
synopsis
get your
out
synopsis out.
before I disappear completely.
You will not
That's it.
disappear.
How long do we have until you dematerialize? Can we put the what is it? What are they called? The hollow
I've got a
emitters.
holodeck malfunction. I'm lost forever.
So,
You just turned into most haunted. That's
this is season 3 of Star Trek Voyager. This is the 30th anniversary celebratory episode of Star Trek Voyager, where we see Tuvok on the USS Excelsior, who is captained by Hikaru Sulu. So we are literally going to go, oh my, next week, because we are going to see Sulu in full swing as he captains the USS Excelsior during the events of the Undiscovered Country. What
Yes.
an episode. And, god damn it, Dabo Wheel, although you were broken, god damn it, another Picard callback.
Yes.
Tuvok.
crazy, man.
A Tuvok-centric episode.
And is the Excelsior mentioned in Picard? I can't remember.
The new Excelsior was mentioned because that was destroyed. That was Captain Nolan North, as I'm going to call him. Captain Drake.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake does what he did last night on Twitch when I was playing and died a lot. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's brilliant. And I'm glad we're getting a Voyager one, because I have to admit, like, we've gone like, hey, Dabo Wheel, it's got all these episodes in. It's another next gen. Okay. You know,
Yes, it really is. So I'm absolutely looking forward to that. Guys, that was our review of Ship in a Bottle from Star Trek The Next Generation Season 6. What are you doing this week, Synoiz? Have you got anything to promote?
Being ill. I'm being ill.
Except being ill. What are you promoting?
It's been ill.
What am I doing? On Sunday, on Sunday, you can catch me at Bobby's Bar in Newcastle for the final of Drag Idol UK Newcastle Heats. I'm not in the competition. I'm just doing press on behalf of Girl Global and on the Girl podcast, GURL Global.com, I think it is. And we're doing press, so we'll be interviewing the finalists and whatnot, and then hopefully crowning a winner. And I might be appearing and singing in one of the performers' numbers, which should be fun.
So if you live in the northeast of England, guys, please go visit Synoiz. On what day is it? Sorry, Sunday.
Sunday, yep.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
Because this is Friday, obviously.
Oh, it's Friday. Yes,
it's
Friday.
Enjoy your cereal, Beth.
This is live. This is live. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Beth. Hello, Paul. No, I'm not dead yet. It's So it is live. So you can catch Synoiz on there. Synoiz's websites and everything that you can follow them on is down in the description below, guys. You can follow Nerdy Up North on everything that you get your socials from, except Social Security, because we don't do that yet. We've got a lovely Facebook group, over 8,000 people, I believe, or getting towards 8,000 people. The page has got 13,000 people. This is insane. Absolutely insane.
I love when we were celebrating like 2,000 or something. We're like, oh, 2,000 people. We'll never get better than that.
The only time I celebrated it was when we hit 4K, and I was like, yay, television reference. So that was the only time I celebrated. We are on Twitter, so you can follow us at Nerdy Up North on Twitter. We have, obviously, YouTube. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, give us a subscription. Subscribe, like, comment. I know every YouTuber on the planet says it, but guys, it really, really helps the algorithm. Share this video with all your Treks and Trekkers that you love dearly. Get more people involved. We do go live. It's only few and far between that we record whenever we have very hectic social lives. I have a social life. It's when our schedules clash, shall we say. We do have a lovely YouTube channel. We've got loads and over 300 videos for your entertainment pleasure. We have an Instagram page. We have The Tick and The Talk. That the lovely Sammy, the lovely Sammy is running. We have a new series that Synoiz mentioned at the top of the video called Monsters Up North. That is going live on Monday. So please make sure you tune in.
Which is all talking about monsters from folklore and movies and whatnot, because obviously we did a podcast episode that I'm on where you can catch me talking over guests who know a lot more about the subject than I do. But because my X-Men power is talking over people, I have to play into it.
Charles
Xavier. I went to college for that shit. But yeah, and it's basically amazing. So we're starting with the creature from the Black Lagoon. So it'll be like a full episode doing a deep dive into the movie and the legend, I assume, with some amazing guests on it. I'm going to be on one of them later. I think I'm signed on for when we talk about the Wolfman. And I don't know if that's just the movie The Wolfman, or if it's just called Misogyny the Movie, or if it's just about werewolves in general.
And also this Sunday, guys, we are live at 7:30 p.m. UK time. That is 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Oh yes, I know my times. I've got to watch. We are live. We are live on YouTube to discuss top 5 British comedies. So that's going to be very interesting because I don't know if any of you know, we're quite British.
What? No, I'm fully American.
No, are you? I'm Hungarian, don't you know? So
God, the lines on my face.
You are Klingon. It's not wrinkles, it's Klingon. Yes. Foreheads up north.
Your rookie
Foreheads up north.
Foreheads up north. But like I said, whilst we're doing that, we have a very swanky Twitch channel that me and Jake run. We are looking to do more in the future. Jake has got his time traveling machine where if you redeem enough points, he will time travel to visit a defunct high street store of the past. He has visited the Warner Brothers store in the Metro Centre. He has visited Geordie Jeans to get some comfortable jeans at reasonable prices. Where will he visit next? The C and the A, perhaps? Woolworths.
Woolworths, yeah. Pick and mix some Woolworths.
Debenhams. Too soon.
Isn't that scary that that's gone now? Like that.
Not in the past, it isn't.
It doesn't exist. Not in the past, it doesn't.
Not in the past. I am also continuing with my Uncharted playthrough where people are piling me with sound effects about various saucy things and wanting me to die all the time. And sometimes they want me to die in games. Sometimes they just want me to die in general. But other than that, you can follow me on Twitter because I am the biggest Trekkie gobshite on Twitter. I am Goodwill None. So the description is in the link below. General Kirky, it has been an absolute honour to have you on our episode.
Have you enjoyed being on, Kirky?
It has been fantastic.
Oh,
thank you for the time. And the honour is with you.
Ooh. Honour!
Honour!
Hello. So yeah, chat, what did you think? Did you enjoy having Kirky on it? Should we get Kirky back?
Oh yes, I think so.
Yeah, because I've loved having you here, Kirky. You are a very close friend of mine, and it has been very good to chat Trek in a mildly professional way.
Mildly professional is the lane in which we want to stay in. Mildly professional and adequately funny. That is the USP.
Funny.
That is the
That's
USP.
On my gravestone.
Is it adequately funny? It is the USP of Nerdy Up North. Mild professionalism and adequate funniness.
It sounds like a way Data would describe someone if he was being shady, just adequate.
We are
As
the
a
Windows
human.
Vista of YouTube channels. We may break down sometimes, but we are adequate for your needs. So
As much as my laptop light is adequate.
I love that it is literally just most haunted right now.
it is. Oh my god, it's a vet Fielding.
Have stick.
Yeah. Mary! Mary. No, Derek, don't touch people. But anyway. But guys, yes, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always. I would like to thank General Kirky for joining us. Absolute honour to have you on. I would like to thank my wonderful co-host, Science Officer Synoiz, and I would like to thank each and every one of you who has joined in on the chat, who has joined in watching us, who has liked, who has commented, who has subscribed to Nerdy Up North. You mean the absolute world to me. Star Trek is my life, is my passion, and it is always an honour to share that love with all of you. So I would like to bid you all a farewell until next week. Live long and prosper, guys. See you later.
Have you been to Africa?